Okay, hobby video time. If this is successful, it'll be a hobby video that I will share with the world, and if it's not successful, no one's ever going to see this. I have a Terminator squad that needs an HQ, and I could try to track down a Terminator HQ, like a chaplain, one of the old captains, but I happen to have Terminator. Oh no! I happen to have old school Terminator Marnius Calgar. And I don't have one of his arms. But that's irrelevant because I'm not building Marnius Calgar. The Star Hunters do not rock with the Ultramarines. They don't. But I have a captain here. If I can just adjust him some, he can be my captain. So what I do have one of the gauntlets of Ultramar. The first problem with the gauntlets of Ultramar. It's hard to say gauntlets of Ultramar just as it flows out of your mouth. But the first problem I have is in the back here, you have these little protrusions where the bullet belt comes out of his back. Something has to be done about those. I have a feeling I'm going to snip those off and maybe putty in some more of that cape there, and then hang some purity seals, maybe a big purity seal. Maybe I'll make like one big purity seal out of putty and cover one side and put like maybe a pouch over here. I don't know what I'm doing with that yet, but that needs to be taken care of. Then this other arm over here, I didn't know what I was going to do with it because I didn't have a Stormbolter, but in the Farseer's old Chaos stuff, he had this one Stormbolter, and I had to strip the paint off of it, and the paint was ancient, and most of it didn't come off, but we have a Stormbolter. But then, here's the other problem. I don't have another Crux Terminatus. And I know, so I got this fancy shoulder pad, and it's a fancy shoulder pad. It's cool, but it's not a Crux Terminatus. And I know no one would bother, but I would know. Now this is Calgar's shoulder pad, and it clearly has a pretty boss Crux Terminatus, but it's metal, and it's got the gauntlet of Ultramar attached to it. And I feel a little bad doing it, but I think I want to snip that arm off, keep the shoulder pad, and then attach a sword, because this is not Marnius Calgar. He's got to look different. And so I think he's getting a sword arm, and that seems like an ambitious project. So the other idea is I just give him the sword arm and then use this shoulder pad. But it's not a Crux Terminatus. It's fancy, and no one would say anything, but I would know. And so that's what I'm doing. I am going to try to get this guy together and then paint him with all of my Terminators. So, step one. Let's go. Okay, I've started work. I've drilled out this bit a little bit to give me some options. I did put a hole through the shoulder pad, but I'll be able to cover that up. But here's what I'm thinking. Maybe I don't snip the whole arm off. Maybe I snip the bolter off and try to keep the fist. That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. Like, I would want to keep this wire here, but all of this could go. Ooh, maybe I'll start there. Because maybe Homeboy could have a power fist instead of a sword. So, we'll see. But the Stormbolter's going okay. The Stormbolter's just fine. He's like, rah, I got a Stormbolter. So this is the part where I got my Dremel tool out and I filed down everything I didn't want. I filed down the bolter on the gauntlet. I filed down the nubs on his backpack. I had a mild mishap, put a little scratch in the cape that I think I'll be able to correct in the paint job. But this was my attempt at recording that. And what I've discovered is that it's really hard to make hobby videos I've tried a couple times to make hobby videos, and they're usually really bad. And any of the people that we watch who give us hobby videos, if they're pulling it off, it's not easy to do. It's super not easy to get good footage of tiny little things that you're working with your big giant monkey fist. So like Midwinter Minis, Duncan Rhodes, Mini Wargamer J, whoever you watch who teaches you how to paint, it's not easy to do. And so I recorded like 16 minutes of me filing stuff down, but that's all you get because it's mostly just me and my big giant hands. So here's what happened. I'm happy with the fist. It's just a power fist now. Looks good. I'm okay with a little bit of excess on the bottom. No one's going to notice. And then on the back, this went all right too. And I got some space to work with. I put a little groove right here. Oh, so you can see that right there. I slipped in my thumb and I dug out a chunk. And hopefully I can fix that in painting, make that not noticeable. And but we did all right. Now, what I've got here are the bits. This could go on his back to symbolize that he's a captain. I could also give him this flag that's already got a magnet in it. What else do I got going on? This piece here I like. I could cut the base off because it's reminiscent of these little things that you see everywhere, but maybe he's just got a big one on his back like here. And then I got a bunch of purity seals, and we're going to see if we can't make him look real cool. All right, so here I am. I've added bits. And I'm okay with what has gone on here. I'll have to make this look good with the paint job because you gotta sell it. With the big emblem has to look like it's hanging off the chain. So I'll match those colors. And then of course this is magnetized because I'm not a dummy. But here he is. And here's his squad. I gotta find a 50 for him because captains go on 50s. But I might have one in the closet. But there is the Terminator captain and his men. Dug around, found a 50. And then the metal Marnius Calgar base just happened to be under this man, and he was happy to give it up for the cause. And I'm pretty happy with that day's work. I am. If I was to criticize myself, I could have spent hours on that, trying to make that perfect. But I think I'm gonna do something fancy with the cape. Maybe put a decal up here. And just try to get it all to blend together. And it was all for the sake of a Crux Terminatus, but Marnius has a particularly good one. And he's not Marnius anymore. He doesn't have a name yet, but he'll have a different name. There's the Terminator captain, though. I'm pleased with him. He's all right. All right, here he is. I still have to put a transfer on his shoulder, and I have to base him, and all of his brothers need their transfers and their bases. But can we get him to focus? Focus. This is how he turned out. Oh, he needs a transfer on his shield too. He needs 2 transfers, and he needs to be based. But overall, he works. He works, and I'm fairly happy with him. I feel like the conversion work went well. And he needs his transfers. He needs to be based. His brothers need to be finished. And then he's table ready. He'll need a name. What's your name, friend? What's your name?